All right. Welcome back to the Big 3-2. Is this the last episode of the year?
This is the season finale.
It's the season finale.
Season finale.
Wow. Is it actually though? What will be the date? No, because next week
It's a Christmas Day special.
But when it comes out,
yes.
So this Thursday is gonna be Boxing Day.
Yep.
And then the following Thursday is going to be the 1st of Jan or 2nd of Jan?
2nd of Jan.
2nd of Jan. Wow.
2nd of January.
It's the last episode. And, well, of the year, Christmas special.
Christmas special.
For the Christmas special, we have got a very special guest.
Extremely special guest.
Who's that, me, yeah? What's going on, guys, you know?
Hey, introduce yourself.
Had a bit of a cameo on one of the last episodes, so I had to come through correct. It's your boy Jamal.
Man came in mid-episode.
Just to save you, man, I'm out.
But our boy Jamal, fresh, all of us are fresh from a lovely evening.
Of merriment.
Of merriment. Of enjoyment.
Wow.
What a fantastic evening it was yesterday. We all ate food. We all drank drink. It was
A couple of men were spitting some bars.
some
There were
man
some
spray
bars.
bars.
Well, don't say someone.
Some
Who?
you.
You sprayed bars
No,
as well.
listen, when everyone was doing 416, this guy was doing 168 bars.
Oh my gosh, I watched that.
Let other people rap, fam.
Different pockets, different beats.
Big man was doing hella flows, fam. Bro, we've all been rehearsing as well, you know.
Everyone was thinking of that 2 bars.
Everyone's
There's
thinking of
2
their
bars
2
that
bars. Fam, man's not even letting my thing drop, fam.
It's like Skepta stealing the mic from
I
one.
was. My
Big
bars
man
are
thing,
too
fam.
whack. My bars are too
Big
whack.
man thing. To be honest, hopefully this is the last podcast of the decade. Our one specifically. Hopefully no one makes a podcast after us for the decade. That is fantastic. What a way to end the decade. 2010 to 2020. Have to do the maths quickly. Have to do it quickly.
Wow, that's difficult. That's difficult mathematics, you know, equations.
But I'm glad that we made it. We made it through another decade, man.
Because
we did.
God willing, there's a few more days.
Yeah, true.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
Touch
wood.
Touch
Me, I'm touching wood.
Whoa.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah, man. How was your decade?
Wow.
It's a big
That's
question.
a very... How many marks is this question for?
24 marks. So make sure you do your PEE, fam. Your point, evidence, and explanation.
In one word? Fantastic.
Sensational.
Fantastic.
What, has it been a fantastic decade?
It was a very good decade. It was a very good decade. Obviously, a lot has happened. But and I think it's one of the most important decades, like transitioning from being a teenager to
Fully.
an actual adult.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot has happened, but all in all, looking back,
Yeah.
I can't say that it's not gone. You know, it's gone quite well.
It's gone
quite smooth.
It's gone swimmingly, yeah.
We're still
Gone
here.
swimmingly.
We're still here. Do you know what? That alone warrants a good decade, man. To be here in full health,
Amen.
To be present.
to be present, to, you know, not living like assisted. Like, listen, I'm grateful.
Independence as well.
Independence.
Independence,
Listen.
happy.
Do you think that's a big part of like transitioning into adulthood? Independence.
Man. Yeah, I think so. Really do. Because it's, you know, it's a thing where you just have so much more responsibility and you're aware of having that responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of intertwined with independence as well. So yeah, for sure. How about you, man?
Yeah. I think independence plays a massive part, man. Like, independent from, I think financial independence, like, I no longer have to, you know, say, oh, mum, I beg you, you know, get me this, or like, oh, there's these trainers I want, there's this game that I want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm at the point where, like, my mum's like, oh, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, oh,
Socks.
Yeah,
Socks, really. It's like,
boxes.
Yeah, get me the essential.
because I don't want to pay for them.
Mum, if you could get me toothpaste, big man thing, yeah, and that would drop.
The 48 pack of toilet roll.
Do you know what I mean? Something
Yes.
that just help. It's no longer about get me the game, get me the
Yeah.
Beyblade, get me the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It's so
Fam, I've
true.
asked for all of them.
Dragoon.
Get me, do you know what I mean? Get me the what's the green one? And the green one. I was just boring and did
green
nothing.
Beyblade.
The green
Yeah,
Beyblade.
yeah, I used to
man.
have that one. Then it would kind of spin.
just spun in the
yes.
middle.
Yeah, and then
Just
you
like
see the
one-
you would like recharge and stuff like that. Where when it was just about to fall down,
Yeah.
it'd suddenly find new kind of energy.
Yeah, new,
Pops a
second
magnet.
wind.
Pops a magnet.
Do you know what I mean? Just going for rounds, fam. Mate, yeah, but yeah, it's that's I think independence plays a massive part of
Yeah.
turning into an adult. Well, tell me, have you got any like this decade? Have you got any like moments that stand out to you?
Fuck, moments of the decade.
Yeah, moments of like you
What, just like moments I was involved in, or just general things?
no, you personally.
Do you know what?
It can
What-
be good, it can be bad, it can be like something that's just always gonna stick with you from.
I think one of the
010
highlights from this
to now.
decade is quite a recent one, which was the Summer 18 World Cup. It's coming home, World Cup, because
What a time!
there was just like a sense of unity
Yeah,
in London.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure it was across the UK, but like, you'd go to a pub on game day, everybody is there. Doesn't matter what club the player plays for.
Yeah.
It's the England
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And one moment that I remember was a Trippier free kick.
of course you remember.
And the pub erupted. Obviously, Trippier was a Tottenham player at the time.
Yeah. of
Pub
course you remember,
erupted.
bruv.
It was mad. It was sick. It was
Yeah.
sick. That World Cup is like, I'll definitely remember that more
Yeah.
than any of the other football tournaments.
Yeah.
That's happened this decade.
Yeah, same actually. Even on that point, because I went to Russia, innit? So
Did you?
yeah, man.
And you came home.
Just about.
Wow.
By the grace of God. By the grace
You
of
went to
God.
Russia?
I was there.
Wait, did you know you was going to Russia?
Yeah.
How did you end up there? They must have kidnapped you.
You can't have booked the ticket.
I booked it with my chest, man.
Wow.
They must have said, "Are you sure?" Scans your passport. It says, "Are you sure?"
See them ones where it says like enter all of the places where there's a traffic light on the thing.
Yeah.
Book. But no, yeah, man, I was there. So
Is this really you?
Yeah, is this really you? Are you sure? Are you sure? But yeah, I was there. So basically, I used to so I knew someone who worked at FIFA, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the World Cup final." And I was like, "Bruv,
Wow.
can I get tickets?" And he was like, "Yeah, just tell me what game." And obviously, Nigeria win the group with Argentina.
Wow.
So I was like, look, I want free tickets for Nigeria, Argentina. So got some for me and my boys. And I was like, look, tickets are patterned, but we have to sort out flights and stuff. And
Yeah.
when I tell you the layovers, like one of my boys came from Paris, he stayed in Belarus for like a couple of hours.
Wow.
I was in Tallinn for a couple of hours.
Where's Tallinn?
Estonia.
Wow.
So I was just sitting in the airport. So I didn't.
So you're
even,
just going.
I didn't even leave, bro. It was peak.
Wow.
But anyway, so it's St. Petersburg for about 3 days. And like
Yeah.
Jay was saying, just the World Cup was different, you know, because everyone in the UK was like, all right, Russia's mad,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but apparently Putin got all of the hooligans out.
So what was your experience then? Because I'm still of the idea that it's a racist country, and do you know what? I might be completely wrong. This is just from because do you know what? I've never met. I think I've met only like 1 or 2 Russian people. I've never had a racial or racist experience with them at all.
Yeah,
it's just from what you hear on TV and obviously.
And obviously what's going on in the media around
Yeah,
the
of
UK
course.
at that time. They were
Yeah.
like, Russia's bad, you know, you have to be careful,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had the mindset of like you, I was like, look, I'm never going to Russia.
Yeah.
But then I was like, there will never be a time to go to Russia when it's the most safe.
Yeah,
It's true. That's
it's
probably
true.
the safest time you can
Exactly. So I was like, look, do you know what? I'm gonna go. And I went squatted up in it. So
Okay.
So I mean, it was only
if
Just-
anything ever kicked off,
bruv. When I say these Russian police officers, they weren't for play.
really.
One, I think we tried to take a picture of one of them, and
Yeah.
there was like 3 police officers standing there, basically wearing like army combats.
Yeah.
And one of the bros was smiling, gave a thumbs up.
Yeah.
The other 2 were like, no, we're not smiling. We're not smiling. But in terms of
Not having it.
not having it at all.
Yeah.
At all. But the thing is, what I'll say one thing is the environment and the kind of place there, it was amazing.
Really.
To the extent where I was like, I might go back when it's on.
Swear.
Yeah, man. I
Really?
mean, it's not run straight back. There are a couple of places I want to go to instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not out of the question anymore.
Do you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised because I don't like to hear that it's you think it's one way, but to hear that you've had a good experience there, it's like okay, cool. Maybe in the future I can go there too because I know Russia is beautiful.
St. Petersburg is wonderful. Yeah,
is it actually?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
So you went to see Nigeria, Argentina?
Yeah.
World Cup.
What was the score in that game?
I think we lost 2.
No, I think it was 2-1 because Messi and Rojo scored.
Messi,
and then
you've seen Messi score.
Messi took the ball onto his thigh, and then took the second touch was just perfect.
Different.
And then banged it with his right foot. I think.
Yeah, right foot. I was down.
And who scored for Nigeria?
Victor Moses penalty. And bruv,
you must have lost your barnet.
Because the thing is, like, if Nigeria drew that game, we go through.
So what was the score when Moses scored?
1-1.
1-1. So it's everything to play.
So
1-1 second half.
This might be happening. You know what I mean?
And then obviously Rojo scored at the 87th minute. So that was tough. But the thing is, Nigeria fans were there in force. You know,
really,
they were like pockets. But obviously, Argentina fans must have bought every single seat because the stadium was blue and white. But St. Petersburg Stadium's wonderful, absolutely wonderful,
amazing.
So yeah, that's probably
jumping
on the back of Jay's summer 2018 World Cup experience. That's probably
do you know what
up there for me, man.
One of my moments of the decade is actually a football related moment as well. So I've got a friend who was a school friend at the time, and her dad has some links to Arsenal, and I'm an Arsenal fan. So she was like, "It's your birthday. Do you want to go to the Arsenal game?" Wow. I was like, yeah, of course, for free as well. And listen, free is very sweet, you know what I mean? So
sweet is nice.
Sweet is nice, you know what I mean? So she offered me the ticket for free, and obviously I had to go by myself, and I was sitting with some random guy who was actually turned out to be like an old Arsenal legend. I can't remember his name, but got there now, been given the tickets. It's Arsenal Leeds. And if you lot listen, remember Arsenal January the 9th, 2012 was my birthday. Yeah, wow, Henry is making his comeback.
King T,
the king Thierry. Of Arsenal, King Thierry. I'm actually gonna name my son if I have, God willing.
You can't.
I can. What do you mean I can't?
Of course you can.
What do you mean I can't?
You can't.
What do you mean?
You actually cannot call your son Thierry because there's only one Thierry in the whole history, so it's obvious that his name's after Henry.
Listen.
You can't name your son after Thierry Henry.
I'm gonna name my son Thierry. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait. Anyways, so Henry has come back now, and the atmosphere is already like we're all anticipating it. Anyways, like we know that Henry's coming back. Like it's been like
so he must have just joined because it's like the start of the window.
This is his first game. So he's joined us in the middle of the season in January. Yeah,
because he was playing for MLS.
So I think it was on a winter break or something something like that. So we're playing Leeds home game, and I believe it's an FA Cup match.
Yeah, it is.
So I can't explain the atmosphere of when Thierry Henry, the greatest, me personally, greatest player to ever play in the Premier League, comes on the pitch. Everyone is shouting. I've never heard such atmosphere for a player to come on the pitch. That was mad in itself. And then I think it's Alex Song plays his typical ball over the top to the king Thierry. He takes his touch. And then in normal Thierry Henry fashion, slots it bottom corner.
Different.
Fam.
Different
gravy. He is different gravy. I can't lie. The whole stadium, I think even the Leeds fans,
they have to
were
put
going
their hands together for that.
mad.
They have to put their hands together.
Mad. Oh, it was one of the. I remember him celebrating. He's. I don't think he knows what to do with himself. Like he's like shouting. He's doing he's shaking. Oh my god! I can't, one of the best experiences. The typical Henry. One of the best moments.
Do you know
of my life, let alone decades.
I can imagine so. Because even as a Tottenham fan, I've got to pay homage to because this guy is a different level, different caliber, different caliber of player. So to see him come back, he's past his prime, obviously, past his best. But to come in front of that Emirates crowd, and slot home. Wow. Are
you not entertained?
Wow, I can't even lie. That must have been a moment.
Are you not entertained?
He was actually saying, because I was watching an interview with him after like the whole time, and he's saying that was the first time he celebrated as an Arsenal fan. So you see when he was saying he just didn't know what to do, he was feeling the same emotions that you lot in the crowd were probably feeling. So when you're losing your shit, anyway. My bad.
Swear. You can't swear. I swear sometimes.
So when you're celebrating in the crowd and doing bare
pure emotion,
falsetto noises,
yeah, trust me.
That's the emotion that he's actually going through. So that's amazing. Because obviously, if you play for a club for a while, you start to feel it.
Yeah.
That's your club.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single person at Arsenal loves him. So yeah, it was just unreal, man. Completely unreal. We had some categories, didn't we?
Okay, so basically it's X of the decade. X of the decade.
Wow.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for X of the decade?
X of the decade.
Clarify, please.
Clarify. Wait, what do you mean X of the decade?
And not the X you're thinking of. X as in anything.
Wow. Okay.
Of the decade.
Okay. Yeah.
So anything can be. X is the missing word.
Okay.
So the first one that I have here for you guys is album of the decade. So I want you to take a moment to think what really hit different, what resonated with you. It could be something that we're not expected. It could be a curveball.
Yeah.
You might have been going through a situation at a point in time.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be. So album of the decade.
I've got two. I know it's one, but they're completely different reasons.
Cool.
I've got two reasons. So I think the first album, if it's in this decade, I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna Google it now. Kaleidoscope Dreams.
That's definitely in this decade.
Kaleidoscope. Who's?
That's Miguel.
Okay,
That
I
was
don't
like
think I've heard that.
that was like a dawn. Like
Oh, bro.
Arch, what is it, like Arch and Point?
Candles in the Sun.
Candles in the Sun.
Arch and Point.
Pussy is mine. Pussy is mine.
Tell me that the pussy is mine.
Wow.
What? That is one of the albums that I can listen from start to finish, and I won't skip a single thing. But I need to confirm that it's this decade.
I think it is.
I think it might be. Anyways, and the second album, for a completely different reason, it's actually the same. I can actually listen to it back to front without skipping, apart from one song, is African Giant by Burna Boy.
Wow, 2019.
2019, so that's like a very late entry into the
Snuck in.
the album of the year.
You know what?
Album of the decade.
I've got to be honest. In terms of albums that came out this year, that is one of the better albums. And I'm not a big Afrobeats fan.
We know.
But I thought that
We know.
that album, yeah, considering it's not like a genre where I'm automatically gonna like it.
You play, all you hear is
This album's sick.
listen, you hear one drum. He said, turn this shit off. You hear one drum, fam.
Wait,
just
what
need
song?
some horns,
What
innit?
song though? What song?
Is it Yay?
If it's what's Killing Them?
Killing them.
I don't like that song. Man. I've got to be honest.
Killing them, but that's a vibe. But yeah, the reason for me personally is because, well, firstly, the fact that it's so it generally just promotes Africanness and the pride that comes with being an African person, and it talks about heritage. There's one song that's called Another Story, and it talks about briefly talks about the history of Nigeria, and it urges you and suggests and it makes you want to research more about the history. I actually bought a book and I actually watched YouTube videos based after listening to the album. I've never ever obviously I'm interested in my own heritage, naturally, but that album generally made me want to dig into it deeper, and also because it's attached to the show that we went to the other day. Do you remember? We went to
Burna Boy.
Remember? Yeah, we went to Burna Boy. Yeah. That show was hard.
Yeah, I think you're talking about where he talks about Unilever.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That was so interesting, and I think it does actually promote researching into your history, finding out more things that you're not necessarily growing up in. Where we grew up, you're not gonna be taught.
Yeah, it's true.
You need to take it upon yourself to find out more.
It's true.
So I think that's a very important album.
Yeah,
very important album.
Very important.
I think for those reasons, you know what? That might be
that's
one
a
of
good
the
reason.
ones.
I can't lie.
That might be one of the ones, man.
And the show itself
that might
was
be one of the ones.
The show itself was crazy.
So
the show
good.
itself was sick.
Like Burna Boy is
Burna
a performer.
He is a performer. How about you then? What's your
album of the decade? I think, like you, there's a couple that come to mind. I think the one that really was a good one for me was Party Next Door 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I really like Party Next Door 1 and 2, and I used to spin those ones when I was at uni.
Yeah.
So I was going through.
Yeah, what were you going through?
I was going through some life issues, some love life stuff.
What happened in the love life?
Look, that's for the 2030 podcast. No, but I just feel like with his music, it's sort of, it almost takes you on a journey.
Yeah.
So it's a very different sound to what you'll often hear. The lyrics, everything just seemed to resonate with me at that point in time.
Yeah.
So looking back, maybe it's not my favourite album, but it's one that I really felt at the time.
Resonates with you.
Yeah, they really resonated with me, and I felt like that music helped me progress through.
Yeah.
So yeah, loved those two projects.
Yeah.
But I'd say for me, my favourite album was actually Nothing Was the Same.
Right.
That was like a greatest hits. That was like a greatest hits.
Even the starting one when what's the intro song? Tuscan Leather.
Tuscan Leather.
See, the thing is, Drake needs to
But the thing is,
put
though,
a bit more respect on his name for intro songs. You know,
how many fantastic songs are on that album?
there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot. Do you know what? Do you know what? Let me get the album up now and just tell you some of the bangers.
Bro, you need to, please.
Drake.
Yeah, man. Nothing Was the Same was different.
Nothing Was the Same. So that's a 2013. So yeah, Tuscan Leather. Started from the bottom.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
And there's also a few sly ones on there, like Furthest Thing.
From Time is a timeless classic.
Just Hold On.
Just hold on, we're going home.
That was a funny video, actually. That
Connect.
was a very fun. Yeah.
Swangin'. Oh,
Wait,
there.
What's that one? I'm on the 305 to my city.
Yeah, 305 to my city.
I get it.
That's our, so you got the language in there. Too Much with Sampha. So,
and
what a great song.
And then even, don't forget, honourable mention for Paris Morton music. Too.
Yeah.
You know? That was when Jay's going like, cake. Pound cake. Is it pound cake?
Yeah, it's pound cake.
It is Paris Morton music. Yeah. There we go. Look at us with the Shazam and
Come through.
You see, there's a bit in that song when Drake's like, "Why has it been so long? Why is it?"
So
you must have been in uni. Just
the point I'm making here,
go on,
is you've got, so this has 16 tracks.
Yeah,
10 of them
unskippable.
You can't skip them.
You can't.
10 of them,
and then even the remaining 6, are still solid.
The thing is, I said the names of the tracks, and you didn't even have to think, what track is that?
Yeah.
You sang it straight away. Like, they're real classics, man. What about you? What's your album of the decade?
Do you know, it's funny. Like, in terms of album of the decade, my mind's telling me to say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. But then,
what's that, like a 2011?
I think 2011, 2010. You know, just with everything about that album in terms of the skits with Chris Rock, in terms of the actual tunes like Monster, when everyone literally bodied it.
Monster.
But
That's
Blame Game itself was cool. So I definitely enjoyed the album, just in terms of how it was put together, production-wise, artists, features, the whole shebang. And even when you hear the story about how Kanye kind of flew everyone over to Hawaii, said everyone has to wear, black suits, and it's just kind of come correct. It was a very good production overall. But in terms of like an album that really took me, or 2 albums that took me to a place, I know I'm cheating now. Black men don't cheat apart from music, innit? But on the kind of Party Next Door vibe, the first album I probably go to is The Weeknd, House of Balloons.
Right.
Because it was something I've never, ever,
very unique
heard
sound of
before.
music, yeah.
And I shouldn't have been listening to it at that time either, because what he was saying was different.
Yeah, he was talking
different.
Real
had me going on like Urban Dictionary, like what's this? But yeah, so House of Balloons, and I can still go back to it, and I think it was just nice because sonically there was nothing like that out at that moment in time. Obviously, everyone's kind of gone down that vibe.
And can I just point out, so I said 3 albums that all come from Toronto-based artists. You also said another one. So can we just say that in the last 10 years, the music that's come out of that city is unreal?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
You have to respect it, because even artists like Tory
Lanez, wow. Like me and Sherry saw Tory Lanez live.
Swear.
What venue was that?
His energy. It's either
It was near Mornington
Brixton.
Crescent. I'm sure it was like
It's either Brixton or Camden. Yeah,
Coco.
Camden,
So it's either Coco or Brixton.
It was,
Academy.
No, it might have been O2 Academy.
It was O2 Academy
Yeah.
in Mornington Crescent, I think.
Okay.
This
Is that the
guy's
Islington one?
energy.
Yeah. Anyways, whichever. It was unreal.
Tory,
I've actually
just
I've
hit
actually
us
got
up
a
and
video.
let us know what one it was. But,
I've actually got a video where he starts off on stage as
Yeah.
you do as the performer, and then he starts crowd surfing. We're on a balcony, bearing in mind, we're on a balcony recording. Yeah. Tell me how he ends up on a balcony with us.
I could have sworn I seen that video on Twitter.
How he ends up on a balcony with us,
man.
bro, unreal.
It's crazy.
His energy, he enjoys it as much as the fans.
Yeah.
And it's like what you said about Henry scoring.
Yeah.
There's something about that raw emotion that just gets you.
But you feel it. Really
And
feel it.
at a Tory show, you're gonna feel it. You can't not feel it. If you're a Tory fan, you're
and he's got both. He had Diego at the time.
Yeah,
he had some
hits.
jumpy tunes, but then he also
slaps.
had them love tunes.
That's the
Do
thing.
you know what I mean?
He's got catering for everybody.
Yeah, obviously he's got Chicks Tape, but he also had he did a lot of covers, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he perform Controller?
Because there's 5 chicks. Yeah,
he had
Controller.
And
He
you know what?
bodied it.
Summer
His
2016.
Controller.
Bodied it.
Controller's Tory Lanez song. Controller's Tory Lanez song.
To be honest,
Actually bodied
Controller's
it.
his song.
So what we'll do then is on the Instagram at the Big 32, we will pose the question: what is your album of the decade? And it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll
to
let
see,
everybody jump on that one.
It'll be interesting to see what everyone's album of the decade is.
Can I just also say, honourable mention to... We're also lucky enough to see Drake. I think it was 2016, January.
No, it wasn't that long ago, you know.
Was it 2017? Oh, it was 16.
Oh, really?
I think it was 16.
This is when he dropped... this is just before he dropped...
Views.
What's the one with like Madiba Rhythm?
That one.
That's Passion Fruit.
It's More Life, innit?
More Life, yeah. Just before he dropped More Life, yeah.
So More Life came out that year. And I remember at the end of the show, so he'd brought out Section Boys, Division, another
Division?
Toronto artist,
Different.
who is so sick, amazing singer. Love Division. Who else came out? Gigs. Like, it was a lit show.
Young
packed
Thug
show.
came out.
Fugger, one of the great.
So you guys were blessed on a different level.
4-in-1.
Fugger came out. Like, it was
4-in-1.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, the lights go out. The globe pops up in the middle of the O2.
Mazine.
No one's ever heard it. KMT rings off. Drake and Giggs.
Wow.
Listen.
Wow.
I've never felt a building move.
Wow.
Bro, KMT.
That's a big tune.
It was
I remember when
unreal.
it was getting like teased a lot.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what the hell is this tune? No way is Drake doing a tune on this beat.
Drake and Giggs.
Mad.
The thing is, I think
Before
that
its
tune.
time.
Sorry to cut you short. I think that tune only slapped properly in London because we really understood it.
Yeah.
Because I think I must have seen one of those like Instagram comedians like dancing when they heard Drake's bit, and then when Giggs' bits come on, he's
Wasn't
like,
well received though.
yeah, he's like,
was
oh,
it?
sorry. So yeah, man, I think we really respect it over here, man. We have to. You know?
But I think Giggs though, also honourable mention to Giggs.
Yeah, he had a good
going
album.
strong.
He had a good mixtape actually.
going
I
strong.
think it's called like Wamp to Them.
Something
Which was just with the one with the eyes on it, but that was a cold album.
The No Fear Eyes.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yo,
Because for us, Giggs is
Prime Minister,
a real classic.
Yeah, man. So that's the album of the decade.
Album of the decade. But
we had.
I've got more.
There's more.
I've got more.
There's
So
more.
cool, album of the decade, we had about 15 albums. So, this one is trip of the decade. So what holiday have you gone on that was the littest? So you're going to remember that one.
I've got one
You've got
mine.
one.
Do you know what? I had a summer. See, I keep like bending the rules here. But I had a summer where I went to Mallorca and I stayed in a villa for the first time.
Okay.
And this was with my cousin Sam, and then some of my friends from when I used to work in Pull and Bear.
Yeah.
Because at uni it's a bit of a grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I met maybe I would say one of the coolest people in terms of the fact that treated me almost like family rather than just a friend. Like I've stayed at their places abroad.
lovely.
Like to have that in a different country where obviously that you normally you're paying for accommodation, but you actually got people who are taking you into their home, who are showing you around all the best spots. Like they're proper like taking you in. I appreciate that. So yeah, that I went to Mallorca. I stayed in the villa. That was sick. And then that same summer, like 1 week later, I went traveling around Europe.
Ooh,
so I went to the usual Barcelona, Amsterdam.
Okay.
I think I went to Prague. I went to Budapest. I went to Faro. I went to Lisbon.
Wow.
I went to Berlin. We stayed in Madrid for a little bit. Like this trip was just sick. It was just sick, and I just remember. Like, it's something I always wanted to do. Like, traveling around, like, on a train. You're almost backpacking to an extent. Like, I had a massive backpack. Massive.
Did you fall over?
I didn't fall over, but do you know what I'll do? I'll find a picture. And I'll post it. Like, that was one of the best trips for me, man. It was, again, it ties back into what we talked about, like, independence. It was like, you're going into cities you've never been before. You're booking accommodation once you're in the city. How mad is that?
So
like normally everything is patterned before you get there. Like, you know where you're gonna stay, you know how you're gonna get from the airport. We were deciding on the day what cities we were gonna go to,
man, it's life.
and deciding where we were gonna stay. It was just so sick, man. It was sick. That for me, trip of the decade,
top
man.
tier,
Summer 20 again, and that was all in summer 2018. And I still caught the World Cup. Yeah, I still caught the World Cup. You were sick, man.
You were living right.
Yeah, I enjoyed, man. How about you lot?
That sounds like a crazy trip.
How about you lot? What was your...
It's so difficult to say because I've had a few trips. I've been lucky enough to have a few trips that
got
were
them stamps ready.
Really good trips, man.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, the trip of the decade. So I don't want to cheat and give two. So the trip of the decade was probably my family trip to Cape Verde this year.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it was my dad's 50th.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic trip. So my girlfriend came, my aunts, my dad was there. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
Some of my dad's friends. And it was such a cool trip to just all go as a family. We, enjoying the day together, seeing the sights together.
100%.
Everything together. But the thing that was one of the most fun was like partying, obviously in the evenings.
Yeah.
Have a little drink with my dad and his best mate. So my dad and his best mate went to school together, they're proper
close,
thick as thieves.
Yeah.
And just shaking a leg with those guys, getting drunk. It was so funny. But basically, on my dad's actual birthday, we had like a party in the room because we didn't want to go to like a bar or anything.
Yeah,
we
you
just
wanted to be
keep
intimate.
it with us guys, intimate, and we're just playing tunes. One of the guys is a DJ and he brought his decks and
don't take the mic.
Running old school rhythms. And you know how my dad gets when he's hearing old school rhythms.
We was in the whip the other day.
We were in the whip yesterday.
Go on.
We was in the whip listening to 80s soul and
funk.
So that's where your playlist came from yesterday. I see.
When I was moving as if I've been listening to music my whole life.
We were trying it.
We were capping.
Capping for the net,
yeah. That one night there was like, I'll always remember that because it was such a vibe, and it was just good to have that one with with the family. So yeah, that was a proper nice trip. So I'd say for me that was a trip of the decade, and it's a beautiful country as well. Yeah. People are beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just a really nice place to go as well.
I really want to go to like either islands off Africa or Africa so much more this year, next year even, for sure, man. Yeah, need to.
How about you? What's your trip of the decade?
Trip of the decade would probably be kind of in the same vein as yours, backpacking. So it was the summer of my graduation, so I went to Southeast Asia for a month with my closest friend from school. So yeah, man, it was lovely, it was sweet. So basically we went Bali for Bali for a week, Vietnam for 2, and Vietnam, man, and and then Thailand for the final week. I didn't really like Thailand too much, but Bali was stupendous. Like every single thing that you've seen on like Instagram pictures and things along those lines, and everything you've heard of it was amazing. I think the first night me and my friend landed there, 17 hours, bear in mind, different. So like jet lag was mad, so we woke up and I think it was like 2 a.m. So I think we just must have watched a movie or something. Then first thing, we were staying in a homestay. So in terms of hostels, hotels, a homestay is basically like you stay within someone's house.
Okay.
And the place where we were staying had mopeds to rent for the people. Oh, bless. So we must have rented a moped. Both of us rented a moped each, and I wasn't one of the guys who'd ridden mopeds back in the day. So my steering was moving shagu. But long story short, we rode down to the coast and we caught the sunrise. And like it was just mad. Yeah. Even just thinking about it now, close my eyes, just the colours was just beautiful. So that was how we started. Yeah. And to know that we've still got 3 weeks left of travelling. And it goes back to your point about independence. Financial independence, because I paid for it myself. Yeah. And like I had the like responsibility of managing the money throughout for a month and things along those lines. And also just kind of planning, all right, we're going to stay here for a couple of days, we're going to do this for 2 weeks and then here for the end. And we basically booked our flights out there and then our flights back from Thailand. And then the rest was up to us. So
whatever you don't know where you're staying.
Don't know where we're staying. Everything was off the cuff,
man. I like that. I actually quite like that.
It was lovely.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man.
Yeah, man.
What do you like about Thailand?
Thailand was different, you know, because I think there was a lot because obviously we were there for a month. Yeah. Like everything was starting to get a bit low. Like the beard was growing a bit too tough. The shape up was gone. Money was low as well. So Thailand, I think it was very dirty. Yeah. You know, like we started off in Bangkok and it just, you know, you see how my first introduction to Thailand was from The Hangover.
Well, that was in Thailand, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, cool, this is going to be the vibe, but we didn't see no Mike Tyson. By the grace of God, no one came back with a tattoo on their face because my mum and grandma
or a missing tooth
and things like that. But I think traveling with one person for that length of time, even though you do know them, you get on each other's nerves.
100%.
And you know,
100%.
Like, you get on each other's nerves. So it's only lucky that I've known this guy since we were like 11. Yeah. So at sometimes he would just be like, stop being a dick, and then I'd be like, right, sorry about that. But if I've only known you for a 1 year period, don't be calling me a dick. But no. But Thailand it just felt.
You've got to be very like know who you're going on these kind of trips with, innit?
For sure.
You can't be traveling for a whole month with someone that like you've met at one motive.
No,
you're getting along, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. Can't be done.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Can't be done.
Alright then. So
the finale.
Okay.
One more X of the decade.
Oof.
And this one is a bit of a sticky one. This one is L of the decade. Your loss of the decade. What was the biggest loss you took in the last 10 years?
Biggest loss.
So even I need to think about this one.
Right. Do you know what I think? I can even jump straight in. I was
ready to shoot from the
hip. Even thinking about that holiday, because I think I'd suppressed it, but we were in Vietnam and we were going.
Wait. Can I just
go on, please?
Your loss of the decade happened during the trip of the decade.
Yeah, man. Okay. So look, man. That's
how you know the trip was hard.
The trip had everything.
That's how you know the trip was hard.
Had highs and lows. It had everything. So we were in Vietnam. Yeah. And there's a place where you can ride a motorbike or Vespa called the Hai Van Pass. So we rented out Vespas from a place called Hoi An, and we were going to another place called Hue, which is Hue. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. During that time, my Vespa broke down. So we had to go to a little garage. Yeah. And I was like, bro, it's peak. So I basically said to my friend, take a picture of us breaking down, of me speaking to the guy, and I'm gonna get the receipt and my money back when we get to our destination. I get there, and I'm like to the lady, she's like an old Vietnamese lady, right? The bike was broken. This is the picture. I need my money back. Bear in mind, I've been traveling for about 3 weeks now, so money is low. It's tight. I'm eating sleep for dinner.
It's ice cubes.
You know, and then
ice cubes for breakfast.
Going to sleep
different
because you're hungry.
It's
that sleep does not hit at all.
That's real pain.
Different. So she's like shouting at me in Vietnamese, and she's like, "I'm not giving you your bags because we sent our bags up there first." And I'm like, "Look, just give me my money back." Yeah. She calls. I think she must have called her son, who comes through with like this old school Harley red, and he's like proper gesticulating like, you're talking rude to my mum, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I just want my money back. You're not listening to me. So I tap my head like basically saying you're dumb innit. Woo. Yo, how's my man just gonna be wearing a little polo top, flip flop, something? He's not on crud. My man lifts up his polo shirt, shows some big belly. I'm like, what's he on? So I look down. The next thing, I'm feeling the sweetest connection to my face.
No.
Sweetest. To the point where it took me back to the age of 6 and mumsy slapping me. Yeah? So then, bear in mind, we were traveling with 2 girls at the time. And
you got slapped in front of 2 girls?
I got slapped in front of 2 girls. And that solitary tear, I felt it drop down and it was too late to let it go.
No, you have to drink it. That tear, you have to drink it before anyone sees.
I tried to sniff it out, tried to act like I wasn't angry, wasn't pissed off or anything like that. And then my boy jumped in and tried to spark him. So, Reigns, know who you're traveling with. And then literally know who you're traveling with, because my boy was backing it. He saw the connection from me. And he backed it. But that was probably the biggest L, because I didn't get my money back.
Wow.
I got clapped.
Wow.
And I had to hold the L. And the girl was like, it's okay. And I was like, don't touch me. So, the ego and my face was bruised. So I think that's
the ego one is the worst one, man.
Yeah,
I'll be upset.
Different. So I think that's probably like the L of the decade that I can probably remember.
Man.
So that's me, man. But we bounced back, man. We bounced back.
You know what? Holding the bang. That's a L, yeah. I'll give you that one. Holding the bang in front of girls.
Wow.
It's not the one.
Wow.
2 L's. 2 L's.
At least if you hold it in silence, you can try and fabricate the story.
It's like what you said. If a tree falls down in the forest and no one's there to hear it, did the tree fall?
Exactly.
If you held a bang and no one's there to witness, did you hold the bang?
Exactly.
The problem is that there were witnesses.
People saw it.
Yeah, it's true.
The problem is that there were witnesses.
Come back with a black eye and be like, oh yeah, I got jumped.
And then there were people in the restaurant like, that didn't happen, bro.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
What's your LJ? L of the decade.
Do you know what? I'll be what is my L of the decade? I've got 2 notable L's that I can think of, which is not bad for 10 years of work.
Yeah.
My notable L. So I passed my driving test, and I was like, Mum, can I get insured on your car? So my mum, at the time, drove a Fiat 500.
Jeez.
I was itching to drive the Fiat 500. Cool. Anyway. When I was learning, I was like, yeah, I'm a sick driver. I'm hard. I'm the best driver. I'm the stig. Anyway, cool. My mum was like, yeah, you can get insured. So, drove the car. Everything went smoothly. Ended up driving the car for like over a year. So at this point, I'm like pretty experienced now. I'm like, cool. I'm that guy now. Because I felt like I was that guy before I was even good at driving.
And then you got that pinky. Woo! Different.
Yeah, so anyway, I was like, cool, I need to pick up some trackies. So me and my girl, we just went to sports shop, parked up in the car park, went, got my trackies, everything's good. Jump back in the car now. Put the key in the ignition.
Oh no.
Put the clutch down.
You put what? You put the key in the ignition?
No,
R. Kelly.
Cool. So you know when you're parked up in a car park,
and
it's like an empty car park. More time you don't bother reverse out of you'll just drive straight and just go straight to the exit. So I was like, I'm just gonna go straight out. So I drive forward and I just hear and I was just like,
oh, go on.
I was like, what was that?
Yeah. Just standing.
I've jumped out of the car now, and there was like a little pole that's like 1 foot long. So you see where they have like a lamppost, and it will have like some flowers around it.
Yeah.
There was a little pole basically where I was parked, and I'd just completely dented up the whole wing.
Ooh, after you've been placed on the insurance, your mum's no claims.
Yeah.
When?
So I had to go home, and I had to tell my mum, you see your pride and joy outside?
Yeah. It's not around anymore. It's not around.
That's
anymore.
because it's not around. Oh, listen, when I say my mum was livid, look. I did not want to have that conversation with my mum, man.
Mummy?
Yeah, she Let me just
come on, drop the mummy.
Let me just put it this way. she was vexed. And that was a big loss.
No.
But yeah, man, that was my loss of the decade. Damaging my mum's car.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
But all I can say is, if I'm going to be involved in any car accident, I'm glad it was that.
It's that one there, exactly.
I'm glad it was that one there.
Exactly.
So ultimately, look back on that and be grateful. But yeah, that was. I didn't enjoy telling that to my mum.
That's a tough conversation to have, man.
Not the one.
Yeah.
My L. I've had a lot of L's this decade. They've all turned into lessons, but
come on.
I've had a few L's, but one that stands out to me, it was a financial L.
Oof.
And man, them look. I know this whole, putting a £5 bet on football. That's all calm. That's blessed. Do that. Stick to that. But when you start diving into the realms of online roulette,
putting it all on black, yeah.
That's when you're in serious trouble. So basically, man, I'm in uni now and rent is due soon. Rent is due soon, but I haven't got everything to cover the rent and also my life as well. So it's a choice between rent or, like you said, eat and sleep for dinner. So
necessities.
I didn't quite have the rent at the time, so instead of me doing the logical thing is just to swallow your pride and say, look, whoever you've got that's close to you that you could probably help, just say, just I need a very short term, a couple of hundred, and then I'll pay you back when I get paid because I was working and all that stuff. Like, I'm just waiting. Yeah, I'm just waiting. It's cash flow. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Like I've got the assets, but it's not liquidated yet.
And one time.
It's not liquidated yet. I'm just waiting on that thing to drop. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the burstment, but the burstment hasn't come through yet. So I've got some money in my account now, and at this point I thought I was clever. I was playing the game. I was doing 5p on black. And then if that didn't come through, I'd put 10p on black. And then I was trying to beat the system. You know what I mean? But you can't beat the system. Impossible. So I lost a little bit of money. So I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna get money that quickly.
High risk,
and you know
high
what?
reward.
At uni, it's not just rent. It's that time is when I think Instagram started really blowing, and there's the pressure of, just having it all, having the P's, paying your rent. You know what I mean? Having nice things, but you're not there yet. You're not. I was trying to be in someone else's lane. That wasn't my lane.
Bro, find your lane and stay in it, man.
I deposited money into the account.
Yeah.
Into the Sky Bet account.
Into the bookies account.
Into the bookies account. Guess how much I put in the bookies account?
I don't even want to. It's
really funny. Sorry, before you tell me the number, a man saying I was choosing between rent and dinner, and you're putting money in the bookies account.
Because I thought, here's me thinking, I'm feeling lucky. Like,
oh my god,
I'm gonna catch a W here. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch a W. Yeah. So basically, I put £500 in the account.
Put £5 in the bookies account.
I put £500 in the account.
Don't until you span it all at once.
Spinned it. I spinned it. Fam, I spinned it. I put £500 on red.
Oh my god.
This wasn't an easy decision.
After much
deliberation, I'm thinking that, okay, red always bangs.
Arsenal.
Red always bangs. When you start thinking of like random coincidences.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just seen red today. I just seen a red bus. That must be it. It's got to be red.
Cat.
I spinned it. I spinned £500. I swear to God. That 5 seconds when the ball is doing, and then there goes dish, dish, dish.
Some EastEnders.
Yeah, and it's knocking around. The ball's knocking around, and I'm thinking, fuck. I'm already regretting the decision. I've already regretted it, but it's too late. My heart was beating.
See them cartoons where you used to just be bouncing.
My heart is beating. Bro, it landed on something black. I've never felt so sick in my life.
You wanted to vomit?
I wanted to vomit on my laptop. I've never felt so sick in my life. You must have tried
to refresh the page, innit?
No, I was punching the air. I was swinging, fam. I was swinging. Bro, that is probably one of the biggest...
So how did you pay the rent?
Obviously,
was that another L?
No.
I
had to dance.
Outside Brighton train station.
And do you know how much do you know how much competition there is outside Brighton station? Do you know how many homeless people there are? Fam, I put on my shiniest clothes, fam. I put on my loudest shoes.
Oh my
God. I was dancing.
That is actually funny.
What I should have done is I should have just asked for help. And what I did is I asked for help after.
Right.
Obviously,
so
it was but like when it's too late, instead of asking for one or two, I ended up asking for the whole thing. The biggest L. Not only have I lost my own money, that's never coming back. I'm not on these times. Levi's are paying me 3-4 bills a month. Do you know what I mean?
Lost 2 months' wages, you know.
In one stupid spin, that for me is the biggest L I've ever taken, bro.
Yeah, that's a firm loss.
The £500, and then on top of that, you have to ask people for money. That is a terrible feeling.
Effect.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's a domino effect.
Disgusting. Yeah, man, that's my L. That's it.
Wow,
that's a big loss.
I just gotta say to you, man, don't gamble, man. Listen, do you know what? The £5 bets here, the £1, £2 is it's fun and games, isn't it? When you start talking about 2-3 figures,
yeah.
Stop,
relax.
Just
stop.
Stop.
I always say like, when you put a little bet on the football, it adds excitement.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're betting to make money or to cover something, then it's dangerous. It's dangerous because if I lose £5, I'm prepared to lose it.
Exactly, that's it. You have to be prepared to lose that money.
Yeah.
Shay, were you prepared to lose that $5?
I wasn't.
Did you think? It's
I thought I was gonna win.
Innit?
Yeah.
Well, you only thought about.
I only thought about winning. You know what? The thought of losing. The thing is, actually losing a piece is worse than the actual situation you were in before.
Do you know what's mad?
Fuck would you do that to
you
yourself?
could have wasted all the money on drip, but at least
that
you've
would
got
have
the
been
drip.
better. Exactly. I had nothing to show for it.
At least you've got the
nothing to show for it.
You had a good story for the pod though, so that's something.
That's the only thing I gained from it. That's the only thing I gained from it.
True.
So to wrap it up, then, we're going into 2020, and you were talking about this earlier. How people want to do their New Year's resolutions, and like, people are very specific, and a lot of the times people stick to that specific goal for 2 weeks of January and then go back to living their own life. But you said instead of that, what was it that you said we should do?
Yeah, man, I was thinking that we should kind of have like a theme or a word for the year, you know. Even the point you were saying, I said I wanted to travel more in 2019. Yeah. But that didn't happen. I said I wanted to travel every month, but the way the balance was set up, it did not happen. But you raised a very good point of just saying you should just said you wanted to explore more. Yeah. So even on that point, I think my theme / word is just patience, and that's patience with myself, patience with others, and also just patience with the flow of life. Because I think in this era we all want to have everything now, and everything's kind of like microwave to the extent where, you know, with Instagram, Twitter, everyone's always up. Yeah. But we forget that that's a highlight reel. So for me, I think it's about patience and, you know, patience with self, like I said, patience with others and patience with the flow of life. So that's probably mine, man. So I'm going to try to remember that as best I can. Yeah.
Listen, I'll remind you, bro. I'll remind you. Right, cool. If you ever need it, I'll remind you. I'll just send you that one word. Patience, honestly.
Blessings.
I want to clap, fam. I like that a lot.
I like that idea.
I like that a lot. What's yours then, Jay? Well, there's 2 J's, but Jay, man.
For mine, I think my word for the next 10 years is probably going to be motivation. Motivation. And I think the reason I'm going to choose motivation is because I think there's 2 things that come into being able to achieve your goals, and one is capability. Are you capable? And I think I am capable. My goals are reachable. They're achievable. Of course. And the only thing that can stop me is if I'm not motivated enough to do it. If I let myself down. Yeah. And I think, the next 10 years, as the last 10 years have been, you know, there's a lot of things to achieve. And I hope that my life, in 10 years' time, there's children in my life. I hope there's a lovely family home. All of these things, a good career, marriage. These are all things that I'm hoping to see in the next 10 years.
Wow.
And of course, I'm going to have to be focused on my goals and motivated to achieve them. So for me, I would say I hope that I can remain motivated.
Kelly Rowland, motivation.
Shouts to Kelly.
What's that woman that sings it but she can't sing?
Who is it?
I don't even know what her name is. But I mean, we'll try and find it to put on the Instagram later. But damn.
Yeah, we'll post that one.
My one is consistency.
Yes.
Consistency. I was saying to you like earlier, like, even though it's only, this will be episode 21, this is 21 weeks of putting out an episode, like I said, regardless of the situation, whether we were hungover, whether we had plans to see family that day, or we were going out, we always made time for it. Even if it meant, when, for example, Jay was on holiday, meant recording 2 episodes on a weekend to make sure that it was patterned for when we were, or maybe it was me that was away, I don't know. But there's been times where we haven't been available, but we made the plan to always get that episode out weekly. And that's, if I can apply that to the rest of my life with all the goals that I have, all the different little journeys that I've got for myself, for self-development and progression, if I can apply consistency, I've seen already that's where the results come from. Even something as little as gym. Going consistently is when you see the progress. You don't see progress when you go ham for 2 weeks and then you take a break. That's not when you see the progress. When you're eating well, or you're eating how you need to achieve your goals, and you're going gym regularly, and you're sleeping enough, you're drinking enough water on a daily basis, that's when you see your goals. So for me, if I can apply that to my wider life, that would be a successful decade. Consistency is key. And that's a wrap.
What a great decade. Here's to another one.
Here's to a great 2020 and a great decade, man.
There we go.
What's the maths? What year is it going to be next decade? In a decade's time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just more life, more blessings, more abundance, really.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.